they're a little too, I think the size makes it difficult to be sent using the inbox. So I have to upload them first. And then after that, I can send you the link, like the previous books.
Okay, that's not a problem, because maybe I won't need it as a PDF, because I've tried to have a hard copy. So.
And did you find it, or not yet? Did you buy it?
No, I'm trying to find it, because yesterday was due and already there was holiday. So today.
Yeah, today also it won't be possible. I think most of them are closed on Saturday.
Yeah, most of them are closed. And I don't think so that they are working on Saturday already.
Yeah, especially with the lockdown from the corona, I don't think that anyone will be open. Okay, so let's see our first topic here. We have the book. So Unit 1 is a bit of as usual, it's a bit of a revision for the previous level, the pre-intermediate. So here, let's start. So the lesson is be happy. So let's see what they mean by be happy. So let's start with our first exercise, a little bit of vocab, which is related to, I think, weekend activities. Okay, so all we need to do in the first exercise, this is a bit of a revision, I think. We just need to, it's an exercise in collocations. Do you know what collocations are?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is basically a collocation exercise. Just match the verbs with the words or the phrases. Okay, so let's start with our first box here. So we visit relatives, and what about have?
Have. The photo is bold is small.
Are you using your phone or your laptop?
No, my phone, because my laptop has problem with sound. Visit relative, have concerts, gigs, festivals.
What about go to?
Have a lie-in.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, have a lie-in. Yes, and we will also see these activities, what they mean by lie-in, what they mean by concerts. I think you know concerts, but lie-in, you'll see what it means exactly in page 127 in a second. So this means we use go to for concerts. We go to concerts, we go to gigs, and we go to festivals, of course.
Festivals.
All right, so let's start with our second box here. What do we have?
Chat, have, do. Chat to friends online.
Okay.
Do yoga.
Okay.
Yoga. Have a quiet night in.
All right, that seems about correct, about right, yes. Okay, the next box.
What about the preposition in? What its purpose here? What is the purpose behind it?
Okay, so usually here when they say have a quiet night in, they usually mean stay at home. It's like it's a phrase used together. I'm going to stay in. So if someone says I'm staying in, it means they're not going out. It's the opposite of going out.
Yeah.
Okay, so our third box, or our third group, we have meet up, tidy up, and go to.
Go to museums, art galleries. Tidy up the house, the flat. Meet up with friends.
Okay, so this one is also clear. And the last one, the last collocation, what do you think?
Do exercises. Do exercise.
Okay.
Or have go out for drink, meal. Have go around for dinner.
Okay, correct. So you can see here they're focusing on sort of everyday kind of expressions with words like have a lie-in, or for example, have people around for dinner. All of these are everyday expressions, and the expression comes together, the phrase comes together. So the whole set of words together. Here in 127, let's have a look. And let's see if there's any extra information we have there. Maybe there are some photos we can check. Let's go there. 127. All right, so here we have, okay. So here we have a little nice explanation. If you check the left side of the page. So all of these are, of course, weekend activities, things we do at the weekend. So here, do you see what have a lie in means?
Yeah. Yeah. Like when you say lie down.
Yeah, like yeah, it's similar, but it has a more specific meaning here. To have a lie-in, especially in British English, it means to sleep longer than normal. This is the idea, because during the weekdays you wake up maybe at 8 o'clock every day because of work, but at the weekends you can have a lie-in. It means you can sleep until whenever you want to wake up. It's longer than usual. This is the specific meaning of have a lie-in.
Yeah.
Have people round for dinner. I think this is clear, right? It's having your friends or having your co-workers, maybe you want to invite them to have dinner at home. So it's I think it's clear, it's obvious. Okay, tidy up the house. I think you know it. There's nothing different here. Relative, I think you know what a relative is. A gig, you know what a gig is, right? Have you heard of the word gig?
No, I haven't before. A gig. I know festival, I know concerts, but gig.
Okay, so gig is also a common word. They use a lot, the word gig, but it's informal. If you check the second tip here, it says a gig is an informal word for concert. So if you say, yeah, I went to an amazing gig, or we had a great gig last night. So here they mean concert. Usually this is something people who go to concerts say, or even the musicians who play in a band, who play in the concert, they sometimes call it a gig. Actually, they call it more likely, they call it gig than concert. Gig is used more, actually.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Yeah, gig. We also use chat or have a chat. I think the last point is also clear. To have a chat, and there's nothing new here. So the only real new thing I think for us is have a lie-in and gig. I think in this little box. Yeah, these are the only new things, the only new two things. Okay, so let's go back. So here we have we just took a quick look at some of the weekend activities that people do. Now we have a few questions here. The question says, how often do you, and you can use these three questions to ask about activities, weekend activities. So we can use the question, how often do you, if we want to find out how many times you do this thing per week. We also have the question, when did you last? It's also clear, I think. And do you ever? Okay, so we have here, hi Werda, how are you? Can you hear us?
Yes, hi.
Hi. Okay. So so you can see here where we're doing a little bit of it's the first unit of intermediate.
Do I have a partner?
Yes, it's only today. I think she's having a trial lesson. She's checking out.
Okay, you are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
You're welcome. Okay, so hopefully Werda will join us soon if she's interested and she likes the program. She's also a teacher, so I told her maybe it's better if you start intermediate, and then if you're interested in other courses, maybe IELTS prep or whatever. So it's a good start, I think. Intermediate it's not boring, it's not too low, so it might be interesting.
Yeah, it appears really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, this book is nice too, so I think you'll enjoy it.
Could you tell me what's the name of the book?
This book is Face2face, second edition.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. All right, so here we have 3 sets of questions. So I'd like you to ask and answer each other, okay? So for example, Nuha, you can ask Huda, sorry, not Huda, you can ask Warda these questions, and you can use them for any of the activities we just covered in the box. So, okay, I'll start with an example. So I'll ask Nuha, and then I'll ask Warda. Each of you, I'll ask you one of these questions, and then you can do the rest together, okay? So, Nuha, how often do you have a lie-in? How often do you have a lie-in?
How often? Not very much. I can't remember the last time I had the lion, and I can't remember.
Okay, so good. But the only thing that we need to change, I think, is the word much.
Why?
Because here we're not talking about something which is countable or uncountable.
Yeah.
We're talking about frequency, right? We're talking about repetition, how often you do something. So if you want to say you don't do something very okay, I don't want to give the answer. Maybe maybe Warda can tell it. If I ask you, you can say rarely or hardly ever. You can use these words. But if you want to be general, you can also say not very. What's the question? Use the same word in the question.
Not very often.
That's it. That's it. Even if you say not very often, it's already clear. It's something that's
really often. I think it's not coming together. We can say really on.
You can say rarely. You can say rarely, but not together. If, for example, if I ask you, how often do you, for example, do you do yoga? And you can say, I rarely do yoga. That will be fine. But you can also say, I don't do yoga very often. I don't do yoga very often. So this means, this has the same meaning as rarely or hardly ever. It's in the same range. Maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 months. So this is something that you don't do a lot. This is the idea. So not very often is a very easy answer. You don't even have to say sometimes, often, usually, always. You don't have to use an adverb of frequency. Just say not very often, and the problem is solved. And it's used a lot in conversation. All right, so this is an example of a how often question. Okay, so what I'm going to ask another question. So when did you last go out for a meal? When did you last go out for a meal?
I went to sister house.
Okay, but what does the question start with?
How often?
No, it's not a how often question this time. It's a
when.
Yes, it's a when did you last have a lie-in?
Okay, last month.
Okay, you can say last month, but even your answer, the one about your sister's house, this is good, but you just have to give me a date, right? Okay, who can tell me why do I need a date here? Why do I need, I mean, a specific time? Why?
Because you ask when about the time, okay?
Correct. Yes, we asked about time, and also what about the tense we used here?
Past simple.
Past
simple needs time frame.
Yes, in the past simple, we want a time frame. We need a time frame.
Yeah.
All right. So here the last question. So I can ask you both. So do you ever visit relatives?
For me, no, never.
You never visit relatives.
Oh, never relatives. I was read gigs.
No, it's relatives. Do you ever visit relatives?
How often?
No, not how often. Do you ever?
Do you ever?
One in the month.
Okay.
Yeah, every week.
So you can say every week, or once a month, like what they said. So you can say I visit my relatives once a month. So here, do you ever? It's also a sort of a present simple question. Do you ever do this? Do you ever? All right. So now let's have a chance. Let's give you a chance to ask each other these questions, and you can use some of these activities here in the box. These weekend activities. Okay. So keep in mind that all of these activities are weekend activities. Now there are two expressions here. I'd like you to tell me if you know what they mean. If not, so maybe Noha can help you. So here we have. What do you think it means when we say to have a lion? To have a lion. What do you think it means? Warda?
To be honest, I don't know.
All right, no problem. Okay, because we also didn't know when we started. Okay, there's another one. What about this one? To go out. Where is it? The other one about gigs. Yeah. To go to a gig. To go to gigs. What do you think it means? This word gigs. Have you seen it? Warda?
To be honest, I don't know.
All right. So okay. So maybe Noha can help us. Can you explain what it means? A lion, Noha, without using Arabic, of course. To have a lion.
Lion to sleep in the morning in the morning more than usual. For example, on the holiday, when you say I will have, what the word was?
You mean oversleeping in the free time?
In the free time, yeah.
Okay.
You have, when you have a leisure time, you will sleep in the morning more than usual.
Okay, good. You mean in my free time, our holiday, we can sleep oversleeping, okay?
Yes, it's oversleeping. But what's the difference between having a nap and having a lie-in? What do you think the difference is?
Nap is, I think it's short sleep. I think it's qaylula.
Okay. So it's a short for a short period. But what about a lie-in?
It's much than 8 hours, I think.
Being in your bed for a long time than usual.
Yes, it's staying in bed longer than usual.
Staying in bed, idea. Actually. Yeah. Not necessary to be asleep, but staying in bed.
Yeah, that's
maybe
the idea.
Maybe I sorry.
Yeah,
I couldn't convey the meaning as it should be. So
no, I think it's clear now, because I think even Warda got the idea. Okay, now can you explain to us, Noha, what about gigs here? What do you think it means? Gigs.
Gigs, it's informal synonym for concerts and festivals. So it's synonym for festival, but it's informal, and the same meaning with festivals and concerts and.
Okay, but what's the difference between a festival and a concert? Warda, what do you think? Do you think there's a difference?
I don't know what's the meaning of gigging. You mean like a car or something?
Okay, do you know the meaning of concert, Warda?
I can't see. Okay, concert. No.
A concert.
Concerts حفلة, festival مهرجان.
Okay, but in English, how would you explain them in English? A concert.
Birthday, you mean birthday or party? Small party.
And what's the difference between a concert and a party? Noha, is there a difference?
Festival and party?
No, concert and party.
Party. Maybe the concert is more crowded.
Yeah, okay. You mean mahrajan? You think mahrajan?
Maybe there will be a band and musician and.
Correct. This is a concert. Correct. So in a concert, there's usually a band, and there are musicians, and there's music playing, usually live music. But sometimes in a party you can also bring a band, right?
Yeah.
So so now what's the difference between a band and a concert? There's one specific difference.
Concert, the crowd is very big.
Correct. You have sometimes up to thousands of people.
Is more restricted for invited group or.
I get it. You mean a concert? It's you can say a music party or something like that. It's not for a specific. I don't know how can I explain, but I think it's like a meeting for music.
شوفي الكونسرتس هي الحفلات الحية، يعني برا تلقي المغنيين مثلا بالفرق متاعهم اللي يديروا في تورز كذا. ف I guess
that's correct. That is a concert. Now the difference is in a party you can bring a band if the party is big enough. That's no problem. The thing is, but parties usually work by invitation. You invite the people to a party.
Okay. I get it. I get it now.
But a concert,
you mean musical performance and giving to public, not a specific one. You can, everyone can invite. Yeah.
This is party. It's not for the public. Party is private. A party is private. A concert is public. You just need to buy. You need to buy what to go to a concert? You have to buy something. Ticket. This is the main difference between a party and a concert. With a concert, you have to buy the ticket to the show because you're going to see a live music show, right? Live musical performance. This is a concert. But with a party, I think it's more social. You're going to meet friends. You're going to meet the host who invited you. Maybe there's a band. Maybe the host he brought a band. Maybe sometimes there's no band. Just chatting, eating, drinking. That's all. All right. So there is a bit of a difference. Now the word gig is almost the same as concert. There's no difference. So a gig is a concert. Musicians usually, when they talk about their shows, they almost always say gig. So if musicians are talking together, they usually say gig. Oh, we have a gig tomorrow at that place, or we have a gig. We had a great gig last night. So usually when they talk about their shows, they say gig. So a gig is a concert. It's the same thing. Now, festival, of course, I think you know how different a festival is from a concert. Who would like to explain to me, in English, no Arabic this time, the difference between a festival and a concert? You could start, and then Nuha. Go ahead.
Festival, I think a day or period, you can say in celebration.
Okay, so it could be a day and it could be a period.
Yeah, like in Arabic, like مثلا.
No Arabic, in English.
Like I can't say what. Like happy birthday or New Year's.
Not exactly. I think the closest thing we have an interesting example of a festival, the one we have in Aqdamis, right? And how long is it? Yeah, it's
customer day.
Yeah, it's is it 1 day or 1 week? I don't know how long it is, because some festivals take time.
At my kids' school, they celebrate a day, special date as traditional custom day.
Yeah, you mean religion? It's related to religion, something religion.
Sometimes, yes, usually festivals are either religious or traditional. So you're right about that. And whether you're also right about usually with festivals, usually they're either one full day, a complete day, or sometimes they're actually longer, like the one they have in Brazil, the Carnival. Have you seen the Carnival on TV? The one they have in Brazil every February. So this is for almost 1 week, and they have celebrations, and they wear costumes, and they dance, and they have shows. So this is what we call a festival. It's a bit different, but the verb is the same. We say go to. You go to a festival. You go to a concert. You go to.
But I think it's not common words.
Which one?
3 words. I don't see it before.
No, they're very common. They're very common, actually. Yeah, they're common. Yeah. No, you can. They use them a lot to talk about.
You have seen them in the last courses, but it's actually in English. I've seen it in BBC Learning or somewhere.
Yeah, they're a bit common, yes.
Intermediate and above.
Yeah, because usually in the UK, this is one of the things people do to spend their time during the weekends or during their leisure time or on vacation. They usually like to go to concerts. They like to go to festivals. So these are some of the common activities, actually. All of these are for British people, of course. We're talking about British people. I think they're common. Okay, so let's have a few more questions. Now let's give Werda a chance to ask Noah, and then we'll switch. Okay, so this means, Werda, you're going to ask all these 3 questions, but each time you're going to change something. You're going to ask her a how often question, when did you, and then do you ever? And then she'll answer you, and we'll switch.
Okay, we can choose which one or 3?
You can, 3 would be better to have a little chance to talk, of course. But if you want to do only 1, it's up to you.
Okay. What can I do? How do you go to the sea? How often do you go to sea?
Go where? Excuse me?
To the sea.
Ah, to the sea, to the beach.
Yeah.
It's usually in the summer. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay.
How often? Did you ask me how often?
Yeah, how often did you go to the sea?
Yeah, we usually go in the summer, frequently in the summer. Maybe every week in the summer. Yeah, something like this.
Okay. When did you do crazy thing?
Crazy thing. Not often, but I think that sitting here and studying English it is a big crazy thing. Yeah.
Lol. Okay. Did you ever? Okay. It's me thinking. Okay.
But you could use the expressions you have here. You don't have to think.
Okay. Did you ever miss being like when you was a kid?
Ever what?
When you was a kid, did you miss when you being a kid?
Did you miss?
Yeah.
What do you mean by?
Did you ever miss when you being a kid? يعني لما كنت غيرت على أيام الطفولة.
Miss, you mean to miss?
Missing.
Okay, so here, just a second, Werda. I think we need to talk a little bit about the questions and how we can answer these questions, okay? So for how often question, first of all, with a how often you want to know, you're asking the person, you already know that the person does this thing a lot, right? So you're asking this person how often. It means like how many times, the meaning of the word, the meaning of the question, how often, this means how many times do you do this action, right? So if I ask you, Werda, how often do you eat chocolate? So this means I want to know how many times a week, or how many times a month, or how many times a day. So I want the number of times. How many
Every
times? So yeah, if you do this a lot, you can say, I eat chocolate every day, or I always eat chocolate, or I eat chocolate very often. So here with the first question, the key is repetition, frequency. How many times do you do this thing? So this is important. Okay. The second question, this is a past event. So when you say, when did you last, the start of this question, when did you last? They want a date, a specific time frame when you did this action the last time. So for example, if I ask you, how often, Warda, do you have chocolate? And you tell me every day, okay? Or all the time. So I will ask you, when did you last have a chocolate?
Last night.
That's it. Last night, 2 hours ago, 5 minutes ago. Or you can say, you can use even present simple, present perfect. I've just finished it right now. I've just finished my last chocolate. I've just finished it. I've just had a chocolate. I have just had a chocolate. Do you get the idea? So you want to show me how recent this event is. So you can even use the past, the present perfect in this situation. So this is a past simple question, and they want a specific time frame. Now the last question is a present simple question, and it's asking about habits in general. So if I ask you, do you ever eat chocolate? So do you ever is a bit, in a way, it's similar to the how often. The only difference is with how often I already know you eat chocolate, or I think you eat chocolate. So I'm already guessing that you do this, and I just want to know how many times do you do this? Is it frequent, infrequent? This is the idea. But if I ask you, do you ever, maybe I'm not sure, I don't know. I don't know you very well, for example, Warda. I don't know if you like yoga. So I'm curious. I will say, Warda, do you ever do yoga? Do you ever do yoga? So if this is something you do, you'll tell me yes. It's a yes/no question. Do you ever, by the way? It's a present simple yes/no question. So you'll say, yes, I sometimes do yoga. Or you can say, no, I never do yoga. I never do yoga, because again, it's
no,
a present.
Never. We can say yeah, no, ever, never.
No, you can't say ever, never. And you can say, I never do yoga, because the question here is in present simple. So this is the best answer. You can say, no, I never do yoga, or yes, I sometimes do yoga, or you can say, yes, but I rarely do yoga, or you can say, yes, but I don't do it very often. You get the idea?
Yeah.
So here it's important to ask about the right thing, and also keep in mind the topic of the questions. What is the question about? Can you see it?
Yeah. Present simple, you mean?
No. If you go a little to the top, on top of the table, what's the focus of the lesson here? Can you see where my mouse is?
Weekend activities.
Yeah. Can you see this, Warda? Weekend activities.
Yeah, weekend activities.
Yeah. So all the questions should be about weekend activities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now Nuha, she will ask you the questions, and then we'll see how you answer them. Okay. So she'll use these ideas, and she'll ask you a few questions. Okay. Go ahead, Nuha. You can ask.
Okay, Warda. How often do you meet up with friends?
How often? I think the last 3 months.
Since 3 months, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. And now, what does she want to know exactly? Warda, what does Nuha want to know when she asks you, how often do you meet up with friends?
She asked me how often, يعني how often meet my friends.
وش معناها how often؟ شو تقصدي لما حد يسألك how often شو معناها؟
يعني
عادة
أمتى تزورين فيهم؟ أوكي.
لا مش أمتى تزوري، لا.
عادة قداش؟ عادة
قداش.
كل قداش تتلاقوا بالليبي هيك.
اوكي I got it now.
مثلا how often do you eat chocolate، يعني كل قداش هيك تاكلي في واحدة، أو قداش واحدة مثلا تاكلي فيهم، أو كل يعني especially على العدد أو عدد المرات أو عدد
Okay, I get it. I get it now. I get it now.
All right.
Sorry.
So I will answer you. I think not much.
Okay, not much is okay, but you can, if you don't meet your friends very often, you can also say not very often, or you can be specific. You can say once a week, or maybe once every 2 weeks.
I don't visit my friends.
You don't visit your friends at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a friend.
All right, so you can say I never visit my friends, or you can say I don't have any friends. So it's a little strange, but that's okay, grammatically speaking.
I'm a lonely person.
Right.
Can we say here? No, I don't do it. I didn't at all.
At all.
Or you don't do it at all. نقدروا هيك ولا it's wrong?
I don't think so. I think it's better in this question with a question with how often. You can. It's the best way to answer it is by either using an adverb of frequency, or an expression, frequency expression, or saying not very often. So if you want to use an adverb of frequency, you can say I always meet up with my friends, or I sometimes meet up with my friends, I often meet up with my friends, I usually meet up with my friends. This is an adverb of frequency. Or you can use a frequency expression like this one, once a month, the one in the book now. This is called a frequency expression. So if someone asks you how often do you meet up with your friends, you can say about once a week, about twice a month, every other weekend, at the weekend, on Sundays. How often do you meet your friends? On Sundays. This means every Sunday you meet your friends. You meet up with your friends. Or if you want to say rarely, you can just say not very often. Not very often. I don't meet up with them very often. Not very often. So this is the best way to answer a how often question.
Okay.
All right. So you can. The second one.
When did you last chat to friend online?
Last night.
Okay.
Last night. Okay.
Last night is a good enough answer. Yes.
Do you ever go to art galleries?
No, I don't ever go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I don't ever go. It's better not to use ever. I think the answer. Maybe you can say, do you ever go to galleries? You can say, no, I never go to galleries. If this is something you never do, you can say never. I never go to galleries. Because remember, like here, when I told you, there's a bit of a relationship between question 1 and 3, because they both ask about present simple. So you can both answer them using an adverb of frequency. So adverbs of frequency, I'll just remind you very quickly. Adverbs of frequency, they include always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, or you can say hardly ever, and never. You can also say not very often. If someone asks you how often, you can say not very often, not very often. If this is something you don't do a lot, not very often, not very often, and so on. So these are great ways to answer questions with how often or do you ever. So if someone asks you one of these questions, they're interested in repetition. Is this a habit of yours? Do you do these things? How often do you do them? So this is how the question works in English, I think. Okay, so let's check our next. We're almost out of time, but let's just see the next exercise. Okay, so here we have reading and speaking. How did the scientists, I read the beginning of the article, how did the scientists make the top 10 list? Okay, so let's see the beginning of the article. Okay, I don't think we have enough time to do this, unfortunately. Yeah. But we can do this hopefully next time, next lesson. the timetable is already on the page, the one that has all the levels we have until now. This means, Noha, today we didn't have a full lesson, we just had half a lesson, but hopefully, Noha, we can make up for this. And for Warda, just send me a message on my inbox, and we'll try to organize. I'll let you know a little more about the courses. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So if you have, Noha, are you okay? We're done. I think we're done for now. Okay, you're still here?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So today we had maybe a little less than an hour. Think of this just as an introduction, not a full lesson. So hopefully the next lesson is on Monday. So it'll be at 4 o'clock. Okay, and I'll be on time. I'm not sure if Jumana will be there, but I hope you'll be there. Okay, Noha?
Okay. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, so thank you for your time. Thank you for the visit, Warda, and okay, I'll see you next time. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm really happy to be with you.
All right. We're happy to have you too.
Okay. See you.
Bye. Goodbye.